by Reverend Ray from Vineyard Church in East Fishkill. And that moment of silent meditation will be in memory of former 4th Ward Councilwoman and Planning Board member June Visconti, who passed away. Please rise. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing. Pastor.
So let's pray and ask for God's blessing upon our town and upon this meeting. Heavenly Father, we thank you for the opportunity to gather here this evening. We thank you for the town of Wappinger and for the many blessings you have poured out upon our community. Thank you, Lord, for this beautiful place to live and to work and to play and to raise our families. We ask for your blessing upon our town. Watch over our residents, keep them safe, protect our homes, our neighborhoods, our schools, and our local businesses. May your hand of peace and provision rest upon this community. We also thank you, Lord, for our town board members and all those who serve in positions of leadership. Thank you for their willingness to invest their time, their energy, and their talents for the good of others. Grant them wisdom as they carry out their responsibilities and guide their discussions and decisions this evening. Help them to lead with integrity, discernment, humility, and a genuine desire to serve the people of this town well. We thank you again for this evening and the privilege of living in this community. May all that is done here tonight contribute to the flourishing of our town, well-being of its residents. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen. Amen.
Thank you. Please be seated. Thank you, Pastor. Moving along with our agenda here this evening, do I have a motion to adopt the agenda?
I'll move it. Second.
Moved by Councilman Casella, second by Councilman Phillips. On the discussion, I'd like to move to table Resolution 2026-144. That is the resolution accepting easement and irrevocable offer of dedication of water improvements to the United Wappinger Water District. Mr. Paggi and I had a good conversation today that there are a number of outstanding items that we would like to address prior to the dedication of this infrastructure. I'd like to table that to the next meeting.
I'll move.
Moved and seconded. On the amended agenda, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you very much. The agenda has been adopted. Do I have a motion to acknowledge the minutes from our June 8th, 2026 meeting?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Councilman Phillips, second by Councilwoman Odell. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Minutes have been acknowledged. Folks, we have one public hearing before us this evening. That is the public hearing on a local law that would repeal the official zoning map of the town of Wappinger in its entirety and adopt a new official zoning map of the town of Wappinger. Do I have a motion to open the public hearing?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Moved by Councilman Casella, second by Councilwoman Odell. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. The public hearing is now open. Those wishing to speak on the proposed local law that we have discussed at length in public sessions since January, please come to the podium, state your name and address for the record. You have 3 minutes.
Ken Chrisman, 237 Old Hopewell Road. I'd like to start off by revealing 5 principles of character that I hope everybody instills in themselves. This is my primary principles of character: honor, integrity, trustworthiness, transparency, and accountability. And to that effect, I have something I would like to hand out to the board.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
As we all know, there's a process with municipal law. Going back to the original moratorium of March 11th of 2024, what I've provided to you is the response letter from Dutchess County stating that the original moratorium request to Dutchess County was incomplete with the comments that the municipality must resubmit to the county. It was presented, if you'll see the documentation in here, from an email to Mr. Paoloni. Their office received the zoning referral from you on local law number 1 of 2024 on an email Monday, March 31st at 3:59 p.m. Municipal law requires that Dutchess County has the opportunity to then review any changes, provide their commentary back to the town, and at that very same day, March 11th, the town put a moratorium in place in violation of municipal law. So when I go back to my 5 principles of honor, integrity, trustworthiness, transparency, and accountability, let's start with where this began. Item number 2, comprehensive plan and zoning. They did a denial. Dutchess County denied the comprehensive plan and any associated zoning changes. The commentary in there states that municipalities in New York have a responsibility to consider regional housing needs when making land use decisions. Restricting multifamily housing in this way, especially without a clear and concise planning basis, undermines the responsibility and may be viewed as exclusionary. For these recommendations, this is from the Commissioner, Ian Rafter of Dutchess County Planning and Referral. For the reasons outlined above, particularly the critical regional need for more diverse and affordable housing, we recommend the board do not adopt the proposed comprehensive plan update or any associated zoning code amendment changes. If the board acts contrary to this recommendation, the law requires it do so by a majority vote +1 on the full membership of the board, and that it notify the reasons to the county of these decisions. They failed to do that. They have not notified.
That's inaccurate.
As of today, you're potentially looking at doing a zoning change. That zoning change has not had the opportunity to be responded to from Dutchess County yet. You've already violated municipal law and code by putting a moratorium in place. By definition, that moratorium is now null and void. If you do a zoning vote today, it will also be in violation of municipal code. The county must have an opportunity to respond. Those responses must be taken into consideration for all property owners in the town of Wappinger. The last letter is something we have already provided, but I figured maybe you'd like to see it in printed format from my attorney, stating that the applicant objects to continued consideration of downsizing of its parcel from R20 to R80. The proposed zoning map amendment targets a single parcel in the town that the town knows is actively pursuing subdivision approval. It is targeting a single parcel in a large area zoned R20 directly across from RMF 5 zoning district. It's close to Route 9. It's right on Old Hopewell Road. It's adjacent to small residential lots on Susich Place. Conversely, areas of the town that are zoned R80 on the periphery and constituted of larger lots. Thus, it appears obvious that the applicant's property is being illegally targeted for downsizing arbitrarily, singling out a parcel for different, less favorable treatment than neighboring properties. It constitutes discriminatory reverse spot zoning. I'm asking everyone that sits on this board today. I was told by the town attorney they don't have to let the landowners know they're going to be rezoned, that they have to have some type of
Conclude your
notification in
comments,
the
sir. You've
newspaper.
gone beyond the 3-minute mark.
Well, honor, integrity, trustworthiness, transparency, and accountability. Everyone that sits on this board has a responsibility to notify. I don't care if it's legal. I don't care if you legally have to. You have a responsibility to notify those property owners that they're potentially being rezoned. Can't vote today on rezoning. The county hasn't responded. I can tell you that the Dutchess County planner,
Again,
The
you've gone
commissioner-
beyond your 3 minutes, Mr. Chrisman.
the commissioner of planning
gonna
for
ask you to
Dutchess
sit down
County,
now, because
and
now you're
Sue
getting into
Serino
opinions.
are very unhappy with this town and this board. Thank you.
We are a municipal home rule state, so thank you, Mr. Chrisman, for your opinion. Anyone else wishing to speak on agenda items regarding this local law? Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Debbie Arroyo, and I'm the property owner of 13 Susich Place. And I've come to many meetings, town board meetings, zoning board meetings, and based on what I've heard from the experts, specifically Mr. Lawrence Paggi, regarding the impact of density construction in Wappingers, that we're already at maximum. And based on those findings, me, as well as my fellow residents, homeowners on Susich, are in agreement with the rezoning of Wappingers because it's going to affect our water accessibility, sewage, our taxes. It's also going to affect our quality of life. It's also going to affect middle and high school populations. And it's already putting an already stressed community services, fire, EMS, and police. And based on that and what the experts have told us, I am in agreement with the rezoning of the map. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else wishing to speak on the proposed local law?
Marcy Wagman, 50 Old Troy Road. So you've heard me, and I won't reiterate, that we're at this critical juncture between rural suburban and urban suburban at a tipping point, and everyone stated a lot of the issues with infrastructure and density, et cetera. What's interesting to me is that because of some of the work that the town board has done to date, it's getting a lot of visibility, not just in the town, but in surrounding towns who are facing some of the same issues. And even in the New York Times, there was a comment about the leadership that's being shown by you and how important the kind of steps that you've taken to preserve the green areas and to ensure that there's less density, if you will, building up in this town. So people are noticing, people are applauding. So I just ask that you continue in resolve and continue in your leadership and demonstrate the forward thinking of the town of Wappinger and support these zoning code changes. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Wagner.
Hi, I'm Alex Winsby, Dutchess County Legislator for District 14, which is part of Town of Wappinger. I'm here to support Supervisor Cavazzini and his planning program to correct the zoning in the Town of Wappinger. I support this plan because it corrects the zoning in rural areas, and I agree with the supervisor's analysis of why they have yet to be developed, the difficulty of their terrain and drainage, and we need to preserve the rural character of these forested areas here in the Hudson Valley to protect our air and for use as corridors for wildlife. The most important part of these changes to me is the historic hamlets of Myers Corner, New Hackensack, Schwartzville, I can never say that. Swartaville, thank you, and Chelsea/Houstonville. The zoning revamping fits the historic design of those areas. In these hamlets, this plan permits mixed use of commercial establishments and residential neighborhoods in keeping with the historical character of the original settlements. My goal with those hamletized areas would be to implement placemaking infrastructure by connecting them with sidewalks, crosswalks, and green spaces so that they become stars in the constellation of places to live in the town of Wappinger. So, Mr. Supervisor and the town council people, I will be looking forward to you. I will be looking for you to support in fully realizing this vision we share. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, legislator. Anyone else looking to speak on the local law?
Kevin Giles, 16 Rose Lane, in the town of Wappinger, county legislator for District 13. And I just wanted to come and speak on the new revamping of the zoning laws. I have all the confidence in the history of what's the board and town supervisor has been doing in regarding the quality of life for the residents of the town of Wappinger. And I just want to say I'm here to fully support the new zoning laws. Thank you.
Thank you, legislator. Anyone else looking to speak on the proposed local law? Seeing none, do I have a motion to close the public hearing?
I'll make a motion to close the public hearing.
Second.
Moved by Councilman Casella, second by Councilwoman Odell. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much. Moving along to the public portion of our agenda. Do I have a motion to open it?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Councilman Phillips, second by Councilwoman Odell. All in favor?
Aye.
Folks, those wishing to speak on agenda items, we ask that you come to the podium. You have 3 minutes. Please state your name and address for the record. Seeing none, do I have a motion to close the
I'll
public
make a motion
portion?
to close the public portion.
Moved by Councilman Casella, second by Councilman Beal. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much. Before we begin tonight's business part of our meeting, I'd like to turn it over to Councilman Beal, who had requested to make a statement.
Yes, thank you for allowing me some time on the agenda to make an announcement. And before I make the announcement, just want to give you a little background here, how I came to be right here at this particular seat on this dais for 20 years. It was the summer of 2005. My dad said to me, "You ought to run for public office." There's my dad right there, 20 years later. I was 29 years old at the time and had served as fire chief in Houstonville at age 24 and 25, and had attended dozens of political events and election nights with my father, as he was a former Dutchess County legislator, and he was appointed to fill an unexpired term right here in this room back in 1991. And he served until 1998 representing the 14th Legislative District, which at the time mirrored most of the town of Wappinger Ward 1. My dad would be my campaign manager in 2005. And from there, it was off to the races, literally. In my first election campaign in 2005, after 93 days of recounts, the election ended in a certified electoral tie, which meant that the town board at the time would appoint the council person, and it wasn't me, until the next year, in which a special election would be held. During 2005 and 2006, it was a very challenging time running for office back to back. In addition to my dad, there was one person who stood beside me through this very challenging time as a mentor and a coach, and that's former town of Wappinger Councilwoman June Visconti, who we paused for this evening. June served this town faithfully as an elected member of the town board from 1986 through 1997, and during the administrations of former Supervisor Irene Payno, Supervisor Connie Smith, and she went above and beyond for me and my family during some very difficult campaigns, and her view was, we got to get more young people involved, right? And back then I was young, right? So she was tough, right?
She was.
And she was loyal, very important, right? My dad and I will never forget June Visconti, rest in peace. In 2006, after a hard campaign, I was victorious with 62% of the vote, joining the town board under Supervisor Joseph Ruggiero. And right away, those of you that are familiar with history, within the first 3 weeks, we had to make a big decision. And that decision had to do with the mansion at Carnwath, which at that time needed a considerable amount of stabilization for it to remain standing. So here I am, this green council member, sitting in executive session, listening to why we need to do something and how we need to be careful and how this qualifies. And I got to say, Joe Paloni was right there at the time. And My decision at the time was to vote for the capital project, which would keep that mansion standing, and it's still standing today. Since we serve in 2-year terms, in 2007, I found myself running for office again, so 3 years in a row. To secure the full 2-year term this time, I won with 67% of the vote, and I've been fortunate to win re-election for each and every subsequent term since then: 2009, 2011, 2013, 2015, 2017, 2019, 2021, 2023, and 2025. 12 campaigns, 12 elections. I've been blessed to be re-elected to serve the residents of this great town 10 times. I've had the pleasure of serving alongside 6 town supervisors: Supervisor Ruggiero, as I mentioned, in 2007, Supervisor Chris Colsey from 2008 to 2011, Supervisor Barbara Gutzler from 2011 to 2015, Supervisor Lori Java from 2016 to 2017, Supervisor Richard Thurston from 2018 to 2023, and currently Supervisor Cavassini since 2024, who I met on a tour of the Van Wyck homestead when he was 12, and then he came here and became the junior historian not long after that, and has been here ever since. So that was 13 years ago? 14 years ago, right? So literally seeing this young man grow up right here as I sat in the same seat, which is actually incredible when you think about it. But it is a metaphor, and you'll hear why in a second. I had the distinct honor of serving as deputy town supervisor within 4 separate administrations from 2008 to 2012, 2016 to 2017, from 2022 to 2023, even serving as acting town supervisor for a brief time in 2011 with the departure of Supervisor Colsey. So tonight, I am officially announcing I will not be seeking re-election as a Town of Wappinger councilman. I started here in my 20s and have served through my 30s and my 40s, and I just turned 50 on May 1st, as you all made it clear that night at the meeting.
You're welcome.
And listen, it's okay, I'm good. But in my time on this town board, I've gotten married to my beautiful wife, Erin, right? And have been blessed with my 2 boys, Liam and Sean, who will be starting 3rd grade and kindergarten in the fall at Evans, right? So, life has changed. And as I have often said, with a 5- and 7-year-old playing Town of Wappinger Little League, T-ball, instructional pitch, Wappinger United Soccer, I appreciate our town from a whole different perspective, right? Because I'm out there. It's a totally different chapter right now. And I greatly appreciate the many programs we facilitate that the boards over the years, especially today, that we facilitate, and the quality of life benefits we provide through recreation and other unique programs. As my boys grow into these programs, along with other endeavors like scouting and karate, my family obligations continue to require more of my time, obviously. There's nothing worse than having to leave the house and they're crying that Daddy's leaving after I just got home from work. So what I have been telling them for the last couple of years is turn on the cable channel and let's see how fast I can get from the driveway to the meeting. Of course, I never exceed the speed limit. But you'll see me sometimes pulling on my ear because they're watching live on our cable channel. Additionally, many of you are aware of my promotion to Commissioner of the Dutchess County Department of Emergency Response in 2025. On a day-to-day basis, I'm responsible for leading a team of over 100 career and part-time emergency service professionals. Our critical mission includes countywide public safety, ensuring all residents and visitors of Dutchess County are protected and safe through collaborative approaches to emergency management and public health, emergency preparedness. We all went through COVID. We don't want to ever do that again, but a lot has really come together to improve this county, which I'm now responsible for. Also, county fire mutual aid and coordination, as we mentioned at the last meeting, dealing with the HRPC fire for 4 days 1 week and 2 days the next. And the training, the effective emergency medical services response countywide, coordination, rapid county 911 dispatch, and communication of police, fire, and emergency medical services. These are things that I'm responsible for, and you may see me sometimes have to deal with something in the county. Over the past 20 years, I've had the privilege of working alongside dedicated public servants. We haven't all agreed, but that's what makes it special, and I've said this before. We can't all agree all the time. That's not good government, right? It doesn't matter what side of the aisle you're on, and often I tend to disagree with people on my side of the aisle more than those that are not. But she hugs a lot, so that's okay. So she's a hugger. I love it. But working with dedicated public servants, community-oriented residents, business leaders, and volunteers who care deeply about our community. And I've said this before, the time that goes into the town board members is not just the time of these meetings. There are thousands of hours behind the scenes over a period of years where we're on the phone, or we're out doing site visits, or we're at events, right? It is a lot. Together, we have faced challenges, celebrated successes, and navigated times of both uncertainty and opportunity. And, the fiscal challenges of 2008, 9, 10, 11 were not easy. We were very fortunate and blessed in this town to be able to come out on top. Others were not able to do that. Did we have to bend the rules a little bit in 2009 and 10 to stay in the black? Yeah, we did. But we had to do what we had to do to make sure our employees got paychecks. That's bottom line what it came down to. So if that means borrowing from special restricted accounts at times, we had to do that. And we paid it all back with interest. Thomas Jefferson said, the government closest to the people serves the people the best, right? I firmly believe that this level of government is closest to the people. Some notable accomplishments we've achieved together here: the creation of the Sergeant Mark C. Palmatier 9/11 Memorial Park, Sergeant Palmatier Way, right? That road, that park would not exist if it wasn't for this town. Our 8:30 a.m. real-time, real-world September 11th Remembrance Service. We're one of the only municipalities that does that to mark time each and every year. I've led that ceremony for 18 years, with one exception, when I was on my honeymoon in 2014. Couldn't be here. The creation of the Town of Wappinger First Responder Awards, which have been every single year except for COVID year. And other municipalities look at us and try to emulate that and have not been able to. The addition of school resource officers to all public schools in our town. No other town does that. That is something that we take very seriously, and I'm confident that we provide the highest level of protection to those attending those schools. Our improved public safety, innovative efforts with our town patrol, which we are constantly looking at new ways to either look at traffic enforcement in outside the box ways with our new signs that are up, or targeted patrols. We were the first town in Dutchess County to prohibit smoking at town parks and playgrounds. And believe it or not, it sounds, in 2026, that sounds like no big deal. We got a lot of heat for that. They were coming at us from all directions. How can you do this? That's illegal. We have a constitutional right. I said, listen, if you can't smoke at Yankee Stadium, remember the new Yankee Stadium in 2009? If you can't smoke at Yankee Stadium, you can't smoke in Robinson Lane. Bottom line. Mm-hmm. And that's true. Now we've amended that law to include a few other things.
Just a few.
Vaping, cannabis, all these kinds of things, right? So again, it's not that we want to restrict people's rights, but we have kids playing that don't necessarily need to be exposed to secondhand smoke. So we were the first in Dutchess County to do that. We were also the first town to have a town taxpayer protection fund, which was one of the reasons we were able to help navigate those fiscal challenges by having a restricted fund balance that would allow us to stay under the 2% tax cap during some of the toughest fiscal times. We've stayed under the 2% tax cap every single year since its inception in 2011. I don't think there's any other municipality in Dutchess County that can say that. I could be wrong, but no comparable sized municipality. The creation of the Challenger League's Inspiration Field occurred. The creation of the Grinnell Library Public Library District occurred. These are game-changing, notable events that this town board worked on. The purchase of, I'll say it this way, the preserving of 326 acres for a future Central Park, right? We don't make these decisions lightly. In fact, I took a couple minutes to explain how we deliberated that decision. We have to look at it from all sides, just like the comprehensive plan and the zoning. Our two most important responsibilities, budgeting and zoning, right? We take these decisions very seriously. We don't take them lightly. And our town is the town we live in because of these decisions, right? Of course, I got to mention the Schlott House stage. And the dance floor.
And the,
I have to mention, I had to get that in. We were out at the first concert of the season this past Thursday. I was late because my kids had karate, but When I got there, the dance floor is packed with people. I mean, what else can you ask for?
Yeah.
Right? And Joey did sing on the stage. I videoed it. It will be released at a future, he doesn't want me to release it. He actually sang with the band. That will be released at some point when you least expect it. When's your birthday? Okay. So that was fun. And, you know, when we talked about spending money on building a new stage and a dance floor, we were using COVID money. COVID pushed us apart for over a year. Let's use that money to bring people together. It was a no-brainer to me. Build a stage and a dance floor, because anyone that knows what I do outside of here, there has to be a dance floor. The hundreds of hours of training that we facilitated for town elected officials and staff at the New York State Association of Towns, you know, people don't realize that you're spending many hours in training that allows us to make decisions that are informed from this dais. Often the laws have changed year to year, and we have to be able to understand how to navigate the new laws. So, in conclusion, that was within 3 minutes, right? I have learned, I have grown, I see broader perspective. Obviously now some of you have actually been in this room for many of the years that I've been sitting here and have come up to me and said, hey, you know, you're a different person now. Yeah, I'm 50 now. I was 29 then, so you change, right? My years have taught me to build coalitions and bring people together. You know, we have more in common than that which divides us, as Joe Cox said, right? I believe that. You know, we're going to sit here and we're going to debate things that's healthy, but at the end of the day, we have more things in common than we don't. So in the wake of the town's 150th year, right, last year, 150 years, and in the 250th year of our United States of America, and I'm distracted by this gentleman over here. Some take the costume more seriously than others. But I will be wearing a costume at that next meeting,
month. Next
right,
month,
in July.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
just letting you know now. But in my 50th year, I say thank you for the opportunity of a lifetime. Thank you for allowing me to serve for 20 years. I'll be here for the remainder of this year, obviously. I wanted to make sure I made this announcement before we reach the halfway point of this year, which happens to be the halfway point of this one-year term. And I greatly appreciate your support, and thank you so much. And thank you to my dad for being here. Blessed to still have Dad with us, and the fact that he was able to get up for that is even better.
Bill, send me the document and I'll...
You got it, thank you.
Thank you, Councilman, and I'd be remiss if I didn't note when I attended my first town board meeting, you were the first ward councilman, obviously, then, and I have greatly appreciated our debates. You know, a lot of people don't realize, as the councilman noted, I think Councilman Beal and I debate the hardest behind the scenes, but when it comes to, you know, doing the right thing by the people of this town, we stand arm to arm in that. And I appreciate your years of guidance, your years of friendship, and you know, being a good, not only were you a boss of mine, but now a colleague, and we're able to get some tremendous things accomplished in this town under this administration. So congratulations on your well-deserved retirement, Councilman.
Thank you. Much appreciated. Thank you.
And again, I'd like to acknowledge former Dutchess County Legislator John Beal for being here today. John, it's always a pleasure to have you here with us, as well as our two Dutchess County legislators. Thank you for your support and showing the county support of our zoning changes and our actions. Thank
Now,
you.
Dad, you're sitting next to the current 14th legislative district county legislator.
Should have noted that.
What are the chances?
This is a day of reunions. We had our farmers market outside before, and the wife of former Dutchess County legislator Joan Coronado was here and attending the farmers market. And I pointed out that current District 15 Dutchess County legislator Rob Faust was right next to her. So there was a lot of that going on today. So beautiful. Thank you, Councilman.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, moving along with our consent agenda. Resolution 2026-141, Resolution accepting resignation of Code Enforcement Clerk in the Code Enforcement Office. Resolution 2026-142, resolution awarding the bid for line striping of town roadways. Resolution 2026-143, resolution authorizing the town supervisor to execute a revocable license agreement with the County of Dutchess. Resolution 2026-145, resolution authorizing the application for funding in the 2026 Consolidation Funding Application, CFA, Environmental Protection Fund, EPF, Grant Program for Park Preservation and Historic Prevention, Carnwath Manor Feasibility Study and Preliminary Engineering Project. Resolution 2026-146, resolution reaffirming the 2007 Carnwath Farms Master Plan for the 2026 Consolidated Funding Application, Environmental Protection Fund Grant Program for the Parks, Recreation, and Historic Preservation Application, Carnwath Manor Feasibility Study and Preliminary Engineering Project. Resolution 2026-147, resolution authorizing the town supervisor to execute the dial-a-ride agreement with the County of Dutchess. And Resolution 2026-148, correspondence log. Do I have a motion on the consent resolutions?
I'll move it. Second.
Moved by Councilman Casella, second by Councilman Beal. All in favor?
Just like to make a couple comments real quick.
Would you?
Yes, please. Thank you.
On the discussion.
Yeah, so first of all, for the resignation of our code enforcement clerk, I'd like to thank Krista for her outstanding job working in our planning and zoning department. She's been a real asset to the department, and we're certainly going to miss her. So again, I wish her the best. The other thing I wanted to talk about is resolutions 145, 146. This is kind of a redo, I'll call it. We actually approved these at one point in time earlier on for the $675,000 grant. It's basically a resubmission, as well as the Carnwath Farms Master Plan. So again, they're kind of a redo, so it's not something we hadn't approved before. So just, so everybody's aware of it. Again, and LaBerge is going to take care of this for us. So those are the two comments.
Thank you, Councilman. We have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Consent agenda has been adopted. Thank you. Moving along to the non-consent resolutions. Resolution 2026-149, a local law repealing the official zoning map of the town of Wappinger in its entirety, and the adoption of the town of Wappinger official zoning map, expanding the one-family residential, it should be 1 acre, 1 family residential, R80 and R5A districts, the Hamlet Mixed Use, HM, and the Highway Business District. Do I have a motion for discussion? We have a motion for discussion.
I'll move it.
Moved by Councilman Phillips.
I'll second it.
Second by Councilwoman Odell. On the discussion. Again, folks, we have been discussing this in open session since January. And this legislative package is part of a series of legislative actions that this town board has taken since 2024. We made it very clear that we were going to preserve our rural suburban way of life. We heard consistently from the residents of this town that you do not want more overdevelopment. You do not want more congestion on your roadways, your schools. You do not want higher taxes. We need to support our volunteer fire companies and not overburden our ambulance and police services. We need to be cognizant of the available capacity of our town's water districts, as well as our sewer districts. So we took historic action in limiting high-density multifamily housing in single-family zoned areas, essentially eliminating 6,000 proposed units that were sitting on my desk about to come down the pipeline to the planning board when I took office. We prevented that. We continued to clean up our town's comprehensive plan, looking at the type of town you want to live in. And we heard it firsthand from the developers who have come to roundtable discussions. The people want to move to the town of Wappinger. Why? For a certain quality of life. There's a reason why you all choose to live in this town. There's a reason why many of you moved to this town. And the legislative package that is on the dais here tonight, and what we have been discussing, probably more than any other local law I've seen in my 14 years of being involved in the town government, is something that has not been taken lightly, but we looked at various properties. We looked at the conventional yield, the potential of the development, and what that would mean for both the entire town as well as for these properties. And we heard firsthand from our building department, our director of strategic planning and municipal codes, that developments that have been built in the last decade in this town on undersized properties, because the zoning was not accurate, it's actually more detrimental to the developer and to the future homeowner. We have heard nothing but horror stories from many of our new residents. And we have worked as a town government to try to fix that now. Whether it's the fact that since the 2010 comprehensive plan and zoning map, there are brand new MS4 stormwater requirements that now mandate massive stormwater ponds across these developments. There are new wetlands laws and regulations that set additional setbacks, not just around the wetland itself, but the buffer. We realize that there are changes in engineering, especially when it comes to town road specs. These are all different avenues that this town board and our professionals have looked at. We listened to our professionals, and we've received their recommendations from legal, from engineering, from planning. Our consultants have recommended this. The Town of Wappinger Planning Board recommended this action. And again, we have passed these sentiments along and these local laws along, but at the end of the day, we are a home rule state, ladies and gentlemen, and we are trying to maintain that as much as possible. As new regulations come down from Albany attempting to supersede that, this town board has done everything in its power to look out for you. And that is where we are today. We have discussed this at length, that the proposals here look at the most densely populated portions of town. They look at wetlands, steep slopes, potential conventional yield of land, looks at water and sewer capacity, looks at where surrounding roads and nature of existing neighborhoods and developments are. All of this has been evaluated. And in the same token, we are looking to foster the types of homes that we have heard from real estate agents, developers. They want larger lots. It was even said on the record from one developer, he would take the larger lot. We're looking to create what is essentially needed, what is essentially wanted, and also with our Hamlet mixed-use zone, foster the walkable downtown communities that were set forth in the comprehensive plan and that are attractive to our residents. So that is why we're looking to expand the Hamlet mixed-use zone to areas such as Myers Corners, to preserve the character of those areas and preserve some of those historical homes there, and preserve the areas out at New Hackensack, our town's oldest village and Hamlet Center. None of these were taken lightly, and I have to thank our professional team for guiding us, the LaBerge Group especially. We look at other towns, and Mr. Paoloni says this quite often. It's, what kind of town do you want to live in? Mr. Paoloni, would you like to say it for the record?
Well, I want to start,
No?
meaning like I'd rather live in Ryan, not Portchester.
Yeah, there you go. At the end of the day, we're looking to protect your biggest investment, which is your home. And again, realize that development should not have an adverse impact on those who live here. That is our stance. At that point, I'd like to defer to my colleagues here and see if they have any comments or questions. I know that we have deliberated this at length, but I want to give the opportunity.
So we looked at every single one of these parcels that is identified within the resolution. And again, we are a board of 5. We didn't all get everything we wanted here, honestly. But there was compromise involved, and that's what we do. And, I do think that the supervisor makes a very valid point with respect to what has been happening in Albany, where SEQR, which is the State Environmental Quality Review Act, has been being scrutinized by the governor in an effort to allow for, this is my opinion, loopholes where incentivized affordable housing, quote unquote affordable housing, and subsidized housing can be inserted into municipalities, right? So that is a concern. Do I believe we need to have more affordable housing? Certainly. But you have to look at the definition. It can be grossly different from what we think it is to what it may end up being. And it's important because we've been here at this day as subject to bait and switch situations involving proposed projects. And we have to be very careful on any potential loopholes that exist in our zoning. We addressed 2 years ago, probably 2 years ago, a loophole that would allow multifamily housing to be inserted into a single-family home development. That was corrected. We have potential loopholes for multifamily housing to be inserted into commercial shopping center districts, right? That, I believe, has been addressed. And what I'm saying is there are approaches that are being used that have not been used previously. And that's why we have to tighten these things up. Because we cannot be in a position where the state of New York is going to be determining what is going to be built in our town. That's not how it's supposed to work. So the tail could essentially be wagging the dog if we don't tighten this up. That said, I'm a proponent of property rights, people that own property, and I've had this debate right here in open, and I've had the debate probably louder in executive session. It is very important that we understand and respect people have a right to develop their property. But we also need to be sensitive to the fact that impacts on contiguous properties must be also evaluated. We also must be very cognizant of what areas have municipal water and sewer versus which areas do not have municipal water and sewer. And what I will say is, in 2010, I was on the Comprehensive Plan Committee, and you'll see within that plan some areas that have higher density zoning because there had been previous discussion to expand water districts and sewer districts that just never came to fruition in today, right? So we had to level set some of those areas with respect to zoning. So I am confident as we move forward, we have done our due diligence. I can tell you that right now. This has been discussed. I don't know if it's been discussed more than anything else, but
This administration.
in recent times.
Yeah, this administration.
But we have certainly evaluated all variables. And again, I'm not going to get every single thing that I have wanted, but I will say that I am seeing the overall concept being met here. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman.
So I'll make a quick comment. So the one thing we were looking for is a consistent methodology here. How can we go back to the neighbors, how can we go back to the residents to say, this is what we want to do? As Bill said and Joey said, we're not always going to agree. We have to compromise. So what are we looking for? We have to look at the current zoning. What can the property support? What are the impacts to the neighbors? What are the impacts to water, sewer, fire, ambulance? You know, there's a finite amount of capacity we have for water and sewer, so you have to take all those things into consideration when you do it. And again, we spent a lot of hours here looking at this to make sure this is the right decision. And again, you know, we weren't 100% in agreement on some of the properties, but there was 100-plus properties we looked at here. So it is a significant number of properties. Many of them did not change.
Many of them were town-owned.
Yeah, many of them are town-owned, et cetera. So again, but that's what we looked for, and we felt what we're bringing forward tonight is, again, something that we can stand behind, something we have methodology behind, and I feel confident in moving forward with this tonight.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Councilman.
The environment is so important to me and to the people of the town of Wappinger, and especially Ward 2. I especially looked when the consultants were telling us about all the new changes, was the wetlands and the actual being able to preserve the land for the future. Like, we really need to preserve it for future generations, and I think this is the zoning changes that we need to do that.
Thank you, Councilwoman.
As Councilman Beal stated, we did not get what we all wanted, right? It was a lot of compromise, so I believe this is the best. And to Councilman Beal's credit, it's the best for the town. So I'm in favor of it. So.
Thank you. All right. Thank you, Councilman. Seeing no further discussion on this, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? None? Thank you very much. The local law has been adopted. Thank you. Resolution 2026-150, resolution authorized, please sit down, sir, that is inappropriate. Resolution 2026-150, resolution authorizing the sale of real property interests and easements to the County of Dutchess for the replacement of culvert WP 35 on County Route 94, All Angels Hill Road, and authorizing the town supervisor to execute agreement of purchase of real property. Do we have a motion for discussion?
I'll move it.
Moved by Councilman Casella, second by Councilman Phillips on the discussion. We've been working with Dutchess County for quite some time on the replacement of the culvert near the entrance to Rockingham Farms on All Angels Hill Road, near Carroll Drive there.
Okay.
And the culvert itself is quite an extensive one. The repair there is more than they expected. When we had a significant hurricane come through some years ago, the county immediately identified that to their credit for replacement. So we've been working with them on the replacement of that, where the detours would be. Fortunately, the detours are going to go out into the town of East Fishkill and wrap around out onto Old Hopewell. They originally were going to send them through Rockingham or Regency Drive, and I said absolutely not. So the detour, when this goes in, will go down Brown Road, out to Lake Walton, which is in the town of East Fishkill, down to Old Hopewell Road, and back out that way. So we will be looking out for our residents in that regard. Essentially, the county is requesting a section of land that we currently own at the gateway there, where the Rockingham Farms Gateway sign is, that they would need not just for the temporary easements, but an actual land acquisition.
And
So
it's
the-
only 4,000 square feet, so
It's
it's small.
4,000 square feet. The county is paying us fair market value for said land, and obviously, we wanted to get the town board's opinion on this before we move forward.
Yeah, we
I think
have
it's a
no
great
option.
idea.
Yeah, we have-
Yep.
All right, everyone's in favor of it? Okay. We had a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Thank you very much. The resolution has been passed. Resolution 2026-151. Resolution on proposed improvements to the Fleetwood Manor wastewater treatment plant to classify project as a Type 2 action. Do I have a motion for discussion?
I'll move it.
Second.
Moved by Councilwoman Odell, second by Councilman Phillips on the discussion. On these resolutions that you're going to see here through the remainder of the non-consent portion of the agenda, they are required for us to move forward, as we are very proactive when it comes to grant funding. Essentially, we have a number of grant applications that we are moving forward with the submissions to New York State. When you're going through these applications, you need to show that funding is available. Town board has done this in the past. Showing that funding is available does not mean that you will draw from it or spend it at any point in time. But if we check the box saying that funding was not available, we'd immediately lose these grants.
Right.
So at the advice of the LaBerge Group, these series of resolutions apply to the Fleetwood, Midpoint Park, and Wildwood sewer treatment sewer districts, and to their treatment facilities. And there are subsequent resolutions in here authorizing us to submit those applications. We have been very successful in moving forward with a lot of our water grant applications, and we've been very aggressive with our applications when it comes to the sewer plants. So we feel that for these smaller districts, this is the best bet for us to move forward. And you are going to see a number of these, the type 2 action, that's seeker, that's the environmental review, there's bonding, there's the grant proposal. So there's a whole package of resolutions that bear with me as I read through them tonight.
Yeah, it's important to me that we do this too, because we really need to make sure that our infrastructure is ready to go. I mean, some of this has been built, in the 1900s, so.
Yes,
we need to,
they're all built between the 1960s and 70s,
We
yes.
need to get this done.
And to the credit of our town engineer, Lawrence Paggi, Larry, you have been just a true leader in this, working alongside Mike Tremper, and we appreciate your advice and wisdom when it comes to moving forward. And we are farther along, and again, talking about being here for a long time, I've seen administrations discuss these plans for many, many years. We are moving in the right track here.
So one of the issues we have too is there's a very few residents that are in these. So as an example, Midpoint, there's 155 residents. I think Fleetwood's probably around 150 and Wildwood's maybe 250. So again, they're going to pick up a significant piece. This is all infrastructure that needs to be updated. So I'm glad we're pursuing this, going for grants, try to minimize the impact to the residents, because it is going to cost them something, but if we can minimize it. So anything you can do, Larry, to help us out here and get those grants would be appreciated.
That's the goal.
That's the goal. And we have a great team. I will put our team up against any other town, and we are moving forward, so.
I would just like to thank Mr. Paggi for, he's worked incredibly hard and outside the box, because he came up with things that, I mean, I've been here 8 years, and nobody thought of the things that you thought of, and these things have been going on for 8 years, so. And if you could just send me what you finally ended up with Wildwood, because I know you worked a lot with that, so whatever the final outcome with that is, if you could just send that to me.
It wasn't just me, it was Mike Tremper as
Yes,
well.
sure.
Between the two of us, we have almost 100 years of experience. So, it's kind of scary to say that, but, it's based on that experience.
Half a Bill's
that we
age.
were able to find some solutions, so.
And again, Wildwood is a perfect example where the town was going to completely decommission a perfectly fine plan and cost millions and millions of dollars, pass that along to taxpayers, and it wasn't even going to really solve the issue. It was going to just pass the buck. So this here, thinking outside the box during the daytime, I have to thank our team. We get it done. So thank you to my colleagues on the town board for supporting those efforts. Okay. So we have a motion and a second on the resolution. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you very much. Resolution 2026-152, resolution to apply for funding, 2026 New York State DEC Water Quality Improvement Project, WQIP, and the 2026 New York State EFC Water Infrastructure Improvement Act, WIA, grant programs. Do I have a motion?
Make that motion.
I'll second it.
Moved by Councilman Phillips, second by Councilman Casella. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Resolution 2026-153, resolution in the matter of the increase and improvement of the facilities of the Fleetwood Sewer District in the town of Wappinger, Dutchess County, New York. We have a motion?
I'll move it.
Second.
Moved by Councilwoman Odell, second by Councilman Phillips. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Resolution 2026-154, resolution to apply for funding the 2026 New York State DEC Water Quality Improvement Project, WQIP, and 2026 New York State EFC Water Infrastructure Improvement Act, WIA grant programs. Do I have a-
I'll move, and that's for Wildwood, correct?
Yep. Moved by Councilman Casella,
Second.
second by Councilman Phillips. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Resolution 2026-155, resolution in the matter of the increase and improvement of the facilities of Wildwood Sewer District in the town of Wappinger, Dutchess County, New York.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Moved by Councilman Phillips, second by Councilwoman Odell. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Next three are for midpoint, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Resolution 2026-156, resolution to apply for funding for the 2026 New York State DEC Water Quality Improvement Project, WQIP, and the 2026 New York State EFC Water Infrastructure Improvement Act, WIA grant programs.
I'll move it.
Second.
Moved by Councilman Casella, second by Councilman Phillips. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Resolution 2026-157, resolution to apply for funding 2026 New York State DEC Water Quality Improvement Project, WQIP, and the 2026 New York State EFC Water Infrastructure Improvement Act, WIA grant programs.
I'll move it.
Second.
Moved by Councilman Casella, second by Councilman Phillips. All in favor?
Aye.
Resolution 2026-158, resolution in the matter of the increase and improvement of the facilities of the Midpoint Park Sewer District in the town of Wappinger, Dutchess County, New York.
I'll move that one, too.
Second.
It's my
Moved by
district.
Councilman Casella, second by Councilwoman Odell. All in favor? Aye. And Resolution 2026-159, resolution to amend negative declaration resulting from modifications to proposed improvements to the Midpoint Park Sewer District Improvement Project.
And I'll move that one, too.
Second.
Moved by Councilman Casella, second by Councilman Phillips. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much, folks. I cannot stress enough how important those applications and those resolutions are. So I thank you for your support on this. Okay, moving along to items for special consideration and new business. Folks, once again, this town has made history. I am so proud to be part of this town board and of our town staff. Again, as we noted, we are looking out for the quality of life of those who live here. Everything from our first passage of our moratorium, the prevention of high-density multifamily and single-family zoned areas, the purchase of our new Central Park that is an investment in our community, and now updating our town zoning map. We are looking out for the residents, not for the developers. Everything that we do here is with you in mind. And the actions that we take day to day are to prep and to get us ready for these actions on the dais. We are continuing to move forward in terms of our infrastructure improvements, again, to sustain those who live here, to support those who live here. What you saw here tonight, adopting those various resolutions on our sewer districts, we're moving in the right direction for those sewer districts that are smaller, neighborhood-based plants. We continue to look from 30,000 feet long range when it comes to how we handle the Tri-Municipal Sewer Commission. And I can tell you that, again, thanks to the support of our professional team, we are moving forward, I believe, in the best direction this town has been in over 40 years, with an actual future for the residents of the United Wappinger Sewer District. As we've noted before, the town of Wappinger has 0 seats on the Tri-Municipal Sewer Commission. That is where majority of our town's wastewater goes in the town of Poughkeepsie. We do not have a voting say, but when we joined that plant and diverted our wastewater to that facility, the town was required in several agreements to pay in upwards of $15 million. We paid a buy-in into that facility. We improved that facility, and again, have been denied voting rights and what comes down the pipeline to be passed on to our taxpayers. Essentially, in 2026, the 250th anniversary of our nation, we have taxation without representation on the Tri-Municipal Sewer Commission. So, we are thinking outside the box, and I know that the members of the town board have had an opportunity to sit with our town engineer as well as our water and sewer operator and understand the facts of where we are today. We have the DEC on record not mandating us to do specific requirements out at the plant. They want the plant to get into overall compliance out at Tri-Muni. But the Tri-Municipal Sewer Commission is attempting to mandate us to do things that are against the best interests of the town, such as paying for a project that is rapidly increasing above $54 million, where we have 0 say, and it would not address the legitimate hydraulic bottlenecks and issues that occur at that plant. Our professional staff attended a meeting on my behalf at the Tri-Municipal Sewer Commission, in which, again, there was no good faith effort on the commission's end to give us seats, to work with us. It was, again, mandating us to do projects that would have no benefit to the people of the town of Wappinger, no benefit really to the plant operations, and actually add us as a co-permittee to the DEC permit, which we are currently not, as we are not an owner of this plant. So, we continue to look downfield and look at the construction of our new plant in the area of Reese Park, along the current the Tri-Muni trunk line. That would be substantially less money, and it would be under our control as a town board. We have submitted a grant application and moved forward formally with that grant application for engineering and exploratory costs to move forward with the construction of our own sewage treatment plant. We welcome everyone to ask questions and reach out, but we feel that this is in the best efforts and interests of our residents. We believe strongly that we should have a say, and right now, we don't have a say. And again, we have contributed well over that 15 million mark without any member of the town board, past or present, in this town having a say of where it goes. And now we have an opportunity to create our own destiny and move in that direction. So we will continue to keep people up to date, our residents up to date, but I wanted to keep that front of mind for everyone as we just move forward with that application. On a lighter note, when you came in today, you saw our town's first farmer's market. I have to give a special shout out to resident Amy Matos, as well as Jim Glorioso, our recreation department, and my town supervisor's office staff for pulling together this very successful market despite the rain. We still had over 20 vendors, and we still had a steady stream of residents going through and participating. Again, folks, this is a weekly market, so every Monday you have the opportunity from 4 to 7 to stop here at Town Hall, get your weekly groceries from local farms and local agricultural and artisan-based vendors. So we encourage you to stop by. Over the weekend, we had a very busy weekend, and I have to thank my colleagues on the town board for attending many of those events. It was a very exciting one. We kicked off the weekend watching the World Cup and celebrating our town's own Tyler Adams out at Martsfield for a watch party out there, where over 200 of our neighbors came under the pavilion, played on the pickleball courts out on the Tyler Adams soccer pitch. It was just a great day. We had food trucks. I have to thank our Recreation Department for pulling that together, and I am excited to announce that this Thursday at 10 p.m. at Brexel Schlotthaus Park, we will be having another watch party. Unfortunately, even though USA is the host country, we did not get the best times, especially here on the East Coast. So at 10 p.m., following the summer concert at Schlotthaus, we'll be having the huge inflatable screen out there. We encourage everyone to come out and support our town's own Tyler Adams. We connected with Tyler and his family, and they were so happy to see the crowd. They were happy to see Tyler's grandma get up and give a speech as well, Linda, and just a great day. So thank you, everyone, for participating. Then our colleagues and I had to rush across town to Cardwath Farms as we, as a town, saved the day. The village did not allow the Historical Society to use the boathouse for whatever reason, which was their planned location a week prior to the event, and we were the proud hosts of the annual Spirit of Mizir Celebrates Magic Gala. That happened at the chapel at Cardwath Farms Historic St. Park. It was very well attended. Everyone enjoyed it. It was a beautiful, beautifully decorated and celebrated event. And I have to give a shout out to one of the co-chairs of that event, Marcy Wagman, for a beautiful job. So thank you, Marcy.
Yeah, great job.
And again, it was great to see the town board there and seeing the space used in that manner, and it was great to have our caterer on site, Mike Palashik from Simply Gourmet, execute what was considered a excellent meal and excellent drinks, and it was a great time. So
We need to really get to the bottom of this boathouse thing, because I was on this town board when we co-signed the grant application for the boathouse. It was the town of Wappinger, town of Poughkeepsie, and Village of Wappingers Falls. And if the grant was received and the building was renovated, the town of Wappinger, along with the town of Poughkeepsie and the Village of Wappingers Falls, had access to that boathouse for specific events. So I'm really not sure, and this is not the first time this has happened, I'm not quite comprehending how the Village of Wappingers is interpreting this agreement. Because if we did
claim
not...
they don't have a copy of it.
Well, if we didn't sign on, there was a specific reason why we signed on to that grant, to allow for them to become eligible for the grant. And I remember having that discussion right here, and now, and I understand there's issues with insurance, and there's issues with, serving alcohol, and those things need to be worked out. But at the end of the day, there needs to be a better understanding with respect who can use it, when it can be used, because this is not the first time there's been an 11th hour crisis involving that venue. Just saying.
Yep. Thank you, Councilman. And I agree. Again, we were happy to host the event essentially as was originally planned by the Historical Society, with no changes except for the location. And again, it was very well appreciated by everyone. Our county legislators attended as well. Thank you both. It was...
And don't get me wrong, our venue is probably better. It's probably a better space.
It's definitely better.
I'm just saying, it's more of a matter of principle here. I mean, I walked into that place, and the way that the committee had it set up really changed the dynamic, right? You walked in, and they had that wall set up with the bar on the other side, which, just changes the space, right? The peacock thing, I don't know the details on that, but that was probably the largest peacock I've ever seen in my life. But that's a story for outside the meeting.
Did you have nightmares after that?
No, someone told me it was real, so I was standing there staring at it.
And then it blinked?
I swear it was following me around the room, but that said, great job, Marcy, and I said this that night. I mean, and my aunt, obviously Trish Costello and the whole team over there, Beth Devine, right, and the honorees, right? We got to give a shout out to the Evals, who, I wouldn't be a DJ if it wasn't for Mrs. Evall. Bottom line, I mean, Mask and Mime, that's where it all began. County players, that's where it continued. So, with Mr. and Mrs. Evall being honored, I told my dad, I'm like, I got to get to this thing. I had other things going on, but I said, I got to get to this event. And then, of course, Danny Masterson, who played taps for 24 hours straight just a few weeks ago. It's just incredible honorees, great event, and I think it needs to stay in our space. 'Cause
Absolutely.
it just fit very well.
Yes, I've told Marcy that.
Again, that's up to the group, right?
But we will always accommodate the Historical Society. We are proud to support the Wappinger Historical Society, not just through this event, but the annual grant that we give them. And Councilman, you'll be happy to know that the Historical Society, utilizing our town grant, is adding more of those blue and gold historical markers that we've been talking about.
Yes.
Last year, they added the one in Chelsea. One is going to be down at the Lower Wappinger Creek at the site of the former Brower Shipyard. And then the other one is going to be along New Hackensack Road near Jackson Road at the site of the former Van Bunschoten Mill. Both were historically significant during the Revolutionary War and were commandeered by Washington's army to serve the troops during the war effort. So
Great
those
news.
signs will be going up. We also had a few other events going on over the weekend. Special shout out to our friends at the Chelsea Yacht Club. They hosted their open house down there. Very successful. It was a great day to be by the river. Special shout out to Care of DC, who is our town's kennel and animal shelter. They hosted a pet adoption event out at Spook Hill Park over the weekend. Very successful. It was great to see all the animals out there and the volunteers. They were giving away hot dogs. Not just if you adopted a pet, but just for being there. So it was a neat thing there. It was great to catch up with Care and appreciate all that they do for the town. I also had the great opportunity to return to my elementary school on Thursday, Myers Corners Elementary School, and for the third year give, it's weird to say, the sixth grade commencement address as they move on to.
Now, where can I watch this?
It was not videotaped.
You know it was. It has to be somewhere.
But I had the great opportunity to speak directly to the future class of 2032 from Roy C. Ketchum High School. That was definitely an honor, and got to see some of my old teachers. And my sixth grade principal at Myers Corners Elementary School, Sydney Goldstein, has officially retired this year, so it was kind of a bookend there. So when I was in sixth grade, it was her first year as principal, and now this is her last year, so I wish her
That was
all
only
the
5
best.
years ago, right?
Yeah, right, yeah. I'll take, I'm younger, I'm fine with that. But definitely had to give Myers Corners PTA a shout out. They did a beautiful, beautiful job there. We have officially concluded, since our last meeting, all of our road paving throughout the town, 20 roads this year. Great work to the Highway Department. We also were able to pave Carnwath Farms Lane as well as Reese Park. I don't think Reese Park and Carnwath have ever looked better. And it was also perfect timing with the event coming up at Carnwath. Everything looked beautiful. Great, great work there to Highway and Buildings and Grounds. Reese Park also just got a makeover in terms of a new paint job. Unfortunately, over the last couple weeks, it was hit with graffiti. Buildings and Grounds went out, actually did a brand-new color scheme to it to match a lot of our other towns' facilities, white and with a whitish gray. So we're going to start transitioning those buildings over to that. No, Councilman Casella loves color schemes, so it's going to match that color scheme.
Thanks, Joey.
And the wash bay over at Highway is moving along as well. So the steel's up, and plumbing, I believe under the concrete was ran, and moving forward there. So a lot of very exciting things in town, and I appreciate for your continued support with that. I believe I owe it to the 4th Ward, Councilman Casella, to start us off in the wards.
First of all, let me say happy belated Father's Day to all the fathers out there. I hope everybody had a great day yesterday. I know we did.
Same to you.
Family gathering, wonderful time out there, so can't ask for enough. June 18th, last Thursday, we had a concert out there. Sugar Beats were out there. It was great music and a lot of people on the dance floor. We saw Bill out there. We have pictures. So,
Well, I was trying.
Actually, probably your kids were out there.
I wasn't trying to ignore you, Al, but my kids were out of control, running across the top of those pillars and jumping off the top. I'm like, people are going, that's the councilman's kids? Like, what is happening? So I finally got them.
I got you on video. Don't worry
I got
about
them
it.
under control, and I'm like, guys, you got to behave yourself. People are watching.
Next concert is this Thursday, so we have Midnight Image Band, which is up next, which should be really great. June 19th, as Joey said, this past Friday, we had a lot of activity. We had Again, the World Cup Soccer Watch, as he said, USA beat Australia 2-0. Lots of chants out there, USA, USA. It was great to hear people loud and proud to be an American. Again, we talked about the spirit of Mizzier Cocktail, the fundraiser we did for the Wapanger Historical Society, and again, honored Danny and Rosemary Aval, and of course, Danny Masterson for doing taps for all those days. That was great. Great event, and the honor was well-deserved. Again, they've kind of thanked people already, but thanks to Beth Devine, Marcio Agman, Christina Unger, and the many other volunteers that, put this event together. It's an outstanding job, and looking forward to next year's celebration. One of the things Joey and I also attended on Saturday was the annual backyard event, Olympics for the Knights of Columbus. That's down in Fishkill. It's run by Peter Cassidy.
It's in
Swartapville. It's run by Peter Cassidy, who's the clerk down in East Fishkill. But all the proceeds for this event go to great causes, like they purchased 60 wheelchairs and they donated them to the Hudson Valley Flight to assist veterans. They do donations to DC-13, which assists law enforcement for people who fall in hard times and hardships, and also Special Olympics and many other needs for people. So again, all the money goes directly to these different charities or organizations that really need the money. Today we had the honor of also having the Father's Day lunch. Nice event. We had a lot of people show up today, and we all got Father's Day cookies, so that was kind of cool. I want to thank our Recreation Department, Jessica, Kellyanne, Darielle, and Michaela for putting the event together. They did a really, really nice job. As Joey's already said, on the 25th, we have our next soccer watch, Slide House Park, 10 o'clock. Also on the 25th, we have our summer camp kickoff. So that'll be something where the parents and children get to meet the counselors. And we also have a special event that day. Joey and I are actually in a pickleball tournament against Fishkill. So it'll be Joey and I playing together as a team versus the highway superintendent down in Fishkill, and of course the town supervisor down. So looking
I
forward
spoke to Supervisor Albro of Fishkill today, and he asked us to go easy on him, as he's never played before, but this will be a great match for charity, and we're looking forward to it.
So we're going to have some fun with those guys.
If we can get that on the government channel, that'll be the highest rated quarter hour in a long time.
We reserved a spot for you too, so.
Yeah, we were
You're out
playing
there,
exhibition
too.
matches.
You don't want to see me play sports, right, Dad?
Again, we were hoping to get Mr. Paoloni out on the court. Maybe, maybe our county legislators can get out there and play a couple exhibitions before the big event.
I'll cheer you on.
All right. And I would like to note, too, it is not just for summer camp families. It is for all town residents. It's a summer kickoff. Yes, you'll have the opportunity to meet our summer camp counselors from both Castle Point and Martz, but we hope that everyone can attend.
Just a couple more things. So again, the farmers market, great event today. I was out there today, and just outstanding. They did this for the first time, and they're going to continue doing this. So great shout out to Amy Matos. The other thing too is I just want to say congratulations to Bill Beal, because I've known Bill for 20 years. We've been on committees together for a long, long time, and we've become very good friends. I know his father, John, as well, but you've done some great things in this town here, and we really appreciate your service, your dedication, your devotion to this town, because again, you've done a lot of good things. You mentioned a lot of them today, and this town with the taxpayer protection plan, staying under the tax cap, things like that, all outstanding things that really make this town affordable, but we get a lot of things accomplished. And so I want to thank you for that. And it's been a pleasure working with you. I know you were the budget guy before till I kind of got here, and you still are kind of, but I want you to know I enjoyed working with you on the budget. And also, we have our debates, our differences, but we come together as a team, as you said, and we try to do what's in the best interest of the residents here. And I think that's the bottom line for everybody on the board. It doesn't make difference of what political party you are. You want to do what's in the best interest of the residents. So I thank you for your friendship. I thank you for your dedication, your devotion. I'm sorry to see you go, but I understand there's a lot of things going on with the young kids and whatever, and as they're getting into more activities, it takes a lot more of your time, and especially with the new job that you have in the county. So again, thank you for everything you've done for this town. Thank you for being a friend, and I wish you well on your endeavors.
Thank you, and as I said before, all those accomplishments, that's not just me. Nothing up here happens with one, right? It's been the team at this dais over a period of 6 administrations. We have made a difference, and these boards, as we move forward, will continue to make a difference. I just think it's important sometimes to highlight some of those things, because folks, we all have short memories, right? It's like, wow, the town of Wappinger did that first? Yeah, we did. So thank you, Al. I appreciate the fact that you have taken the reins as the fiscal expert from the town board, because you certainly spend a lot of time analyzing spreadsheets. Thanks, Phil.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman.
So I got to give a shout out, as usual, to the Highway Department. They're always out and about. You see them running around cleaning up wind gusts and whatever. So to them, I've been seeing you in the morning, 6:30, running up and down the road. So that's great. Thank you again. I have to really thank your secretary, Caitlin. She officiated my son's wedding, and I have to say, believe it or not, I'm a more traditional guy, thinking of a church, but she did a wonderful job, and she really made it special. So to her, thank you. Bill, I've known you 16 years. 16 years ago, you DJ'd my daughter's Sweet 16, which I love to remind you because she's now 32 with 2 kids. So, you've been steadfast to this, and what I can say is, no matter what anybody thinks of your opinion on a subject, you care about this town more than most people will know. You're the guy at 3:30 in the morning who's the first guy on the scene of an accident. You're the guy that follows up with those people, and this town owes you a great deal of thanks for putting your time into the board, putting your time into this town. So from me, thank you. I came on this board not wanting the job. I took it as an appointment, if you don't know. Bill taught me a lot about what was going on, because you're thrown to the wolves when you start. But I thank you. As you always said, we have disagreements, but we've had conversations about them. So I thank you for those. I don't get into them publicly because you like to debate. So, but I thank you, and I really thank you for being a friend.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you,
Means a
Councilman.
lot.
Councilman.
All right. Well, from infrastructure and environmental projects to public safety initiatives and long-term planning, tonight's agenda focused on investments that will benefit our community for years to come. I appreciate the work of our staff, our consultants, and our residents who help move these important initiatives forward and strengthen the town of Wappinger. I also attended all of these events, and they were all amazing. And congratulations, Bill. Thank you, and thank you for helping me. I've only been in this job for 6 months, and you've really helped me, and I'm looking forward to the next 6 months.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Beal.
Well, I've spoken enough tonight, but I'm gonna keep talking.
I was going to say, this we might keep you to 3 minutes.
142, there's a typo on 142 in my packet.
And we got it
That was
fixed.
that was
You got it,
correct.
you got
That
it.
was
All right.
correct. Yeah, we
Just-
took care of it.
Just saying.
Yeah, we took care of it.
Town of Wappinger Little League, the regular season's winding down, right? So, of course, my son had a game tonight that got canceled. It's supposed to be under the lights. I think that's going to be Thursday now. They're texting back and forth. But, it means a lot when you have a 5-year-old playing under the lights,
Yeah.
right? And they do that for the last game. And that's going to happen, I think, Thursday now, depending on how the fields all work out because it'll rain tonight. But, little things like that. Beautiful fields. They come out and they got the announcer announce the player names and everything, and the kids run out. It's crazy. I mean, I've never seen this before. I've been voting for these things for 20 years, but I never saw this side of it. So it's just awesome. And Town of Wappinger Little League does such a great job. They're in the process of kind of passing the torch,
Yes.
which, the new leadership is incredible, just like the old leadership. And, it really takes special people to be involved on that level. I know my parents were involved in the Little League way back in the day. I know Al, in, coaching and, my dad wouldn't let me play much because I had no skill. But I did play second base for at least 2 innings one season, so that was good. But definitely great programs, just incredible. The World Cup things you're doing are just awesome. I'm not into soccer, but I was forced to watch the USA beat Australia since I'm going to Australia. My wife's family's from Australia. Her side of the family was not happy about the outcome, but it's rough. I didn't realize how rough these games are. I mean, it's crazy. So I got thinking, what are the chances the USA plays England on July 4th?
Oh, that would be great.
We'd have to have a watch party for that, right? And we'd have to hope the outcome was good.
Yeah.
That would be a watch party right there. But the concert on Thursday night, awesome time, as I mentioned. So I did spend some time staring at the wall. I know Al is just obsessed with the colors and, the transition and the contrast. And I think it looks perfect.
I think it looks
actually.
great.
So the lighting, I don't know if you adjusted the lighting
Yes.
or the lights in the wall, right? The seal.
Yeah.
I thought it looked pretty balanced now. I don't know what your thoughts were.
No, my color scheme was for the senior center and also.
Right, but we
community
also
center.
talked about, let's not pretend we didn't talk about it initially. We talked about it initially, this is the conversations we have. Does
Al
it?
tried to talk to the contractor without us knowing to
Right,
change it.
that's
I said,
fine,
"No,
that's
no, no,
fine.
no."
Because it needs to be timeless, right? It needs to be timeless. These are things that are gonna be here for 50 years, right? So we gotta get it right. It sounds crazy, but this is the types of things we debate. So I thought it looked great. The sound actually sounded really good, because I was worried about there being reverb off the dance floor, which there's not.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's solid, like, not sounding right. Sounds perfect, perfect. So I will be doing a pop-up party at some point in August. We're going to do it. We got to figure out when it's going to land, but everyone's going to be invited. We're going to probably get the radio station involved and get everybody there. I don't care who you are. I don't care where you're from. We're going to get everybody together at the end of the summer and have a great packed dance floor party. Bring everybody together. That's what we need to do. That's important. Again, speaking of dancing, I thought Brian Lammers did a great job with the entertainment the other night. That guy is really I knew him back in the day when I think he's still with Soul System, which is probably one of the best corporate bands you can hire. Very expensive. Rob Affuso from Skid Row is actually the lead of that band. And I remember when Brian ran against me, I called Rob Affuso up and I said, "Rob, I think the guy in your band is running against me." And he goes, "I don't know that he does politics." Well, it was him. But Brian's an awesome guy, and the talent that he brought the other night was second to none. Yes. What a vibe that was, a dance floor and everything. I thought it was great. So great job again to the Wappingers Historical Society and Marcy, phenomenal job. And that is all I have this evening. I appreciate everything. Oh no, I got to mention the next meeting. So the next meeting, which the fact that you're still wearing that wig so seriously right now is, I don't know. It's I don't know. It kind of
it works, right?
It does work. You
It's
might want
very
to
natural.
consider wearing that Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 4, actually. But the next meeting is at the Mizzier Homestead, right?
Yes.
And what time is it? Same time?
Same time. Everything will be the same except the official meeting will be at 2 Spring Street, the Village of Wappingers Falls. That is Mizzier Homestead.
Okay, so we're going to be in costume, right, Councilman Phillips?
Yes.
Just want to make sure,
There you go.
because it's all,
This is the July 13th meeting?
That the July 13th meeting it's not replacing, it's just changing.
it is,
the-
change of venue.
But there's still a meeting on the 13th.
Yes,
That's
yes,
it.
that meeting, yeah.
That's the meeting.
We're having a meeting. It's not a reenactment. We're still having a meeting, holding business. It'll
Yeah.
just be,
Originally, we only had one meeting in July.
that's it. That's going to be the one meeting. in
July 6th is.
July 6th, I'm sorry. Ju-
July 6th is the only meeting.
Yes, July
July
And-
6th, not the 13th.
Yes,
And
the
we'll be
6th.
having it
Sorry.
at the Homestead.
And you need to set the public hearings for those bonding, because in the resolution it says 13th.
Oh, I don't know why I would say the 13th.
We got to fix
That's
that.
what they sent us, that's what
Okay.
Good Friends sent us.
Okay.
Oh, because he's defaulting to the second.
Yeah.
Hold it to August.
I see.
Because you don't have time for the 6th to publish.
Yeah, so yeah, we
August
could
10th.
default. Yeah.
All right.
The reorg meeting, we said August as the.
So what we'll do is here, I'll make a motion